you fit.
So yeah, gotta get. I'll lead with it this week. Welcome to Bragging Rights, Season 3, Episode 5. Now, cracking on, aren't we? Sponsored by Comscaff as always, and hosted at Tribal. Don't forget to like, share an episode with a mate, subscribe, and if you're on the YouTube, give us a hype. Obviously, you guys, crack on.
Well, you're not even going to ask me how I am.
No, I don't care. I've had a shit week, so I don't care about anyone else.
Why, you had a shit with your birthday?
Exactly. Don't celebrate it at this point.
Why not?
I didn't do out. My mum did all the work. I was dead when I came out, so
What?
I was stillborn. 5 minutes. True story.
Where does all this shit come out? Like,
You asked what, so I told you.
how long have I known you and I never knew that?
Oh, God, what? 20?
I mean, to be fair, it
Years
took me
plus.
10 years to learn that you only had one kidney.
Not valid. So, yeah.
What are we doing here? Should we start again?
Don't know.
Should we start again? Let's, right, I'm going to answer for us all. How are you all doing? I'm good. Yeah, I'm all right, right? Let's crack on with the game.
I am cracking, though. I did finally finish a level on Crash Bandicoot 4 that I've been stuck on for months. It's finally completed.
Oh, well, successful week all round. So.
Why does it say 15 minutes for FC versus Wigan when we just need 1.5 minutes?
Because we
Yeah.
was there.
13
We
and a
could
half
do
minutes
50 minutes on it if
his
you want.
forfeit.
About-
Why were you there?
We'll talk about how you threw me under the bus.
What do you mean? How did I throw you under a bus?
You threw me under the bus twice.
What?
I get to the top of the stairs, and you're like, get it off, when I bought my jacket, which is fair enough. But I didn't realise with 350 old fans stood queuing for a beer at the bar, you must have got all their attention and gone,
You took your jacket off and he went.
and it was like, all of a sudden it was just a rendition of Dirty Red and White, which is fair enough, but I had a shower.
Bits of change.
Yeah, it does, yeah. I thought I best had. I'm going nearly
It was all in
unbothered,
good
aren't I?
humour.
It was. And then we get into the stand. I think me and Josh, because I'd seen a couple of people that I knew, so I was talking to them. And then Josh waited for me. And Jimmy had gone up into the stand. And then I walked up, and then you all just took a step back and you went, go on, up you go.
Oh, yeah.
I stood about 5 rows from the top, and I had to walk up. I was wearing this T-shirt. It has been washed. I'm not an old fan. Bright red. This is what I said to Laura. I said, it's a bright red T-shirt which stands out in a sea of black and white.
Do you know what was
And
funny
maybe a bit
though?
of pink.
He would come watch in front of our row. You two, you and Susan, just left him. You left him solo in front of all of us.
But stood there, took it.
Yeah, you took
That's
the
it.
face of some of the fans. Like, when you started going into our row, there was a couple of lasses on the row behind. One of them was like, "Fuck is he doing here?" Yeah. I was like, I just turned around, so I went,
Oh, the
"Spit on
older
him,
woman
spit
behind
on
us
him."
was not happy, was she? You said it right, Jimmy. You compared it to when you came to Rovers in your FC top, in the fact that every single person ready for some banter took it really well. Nobody was a dickhead about it, apart from there was one person when you was at Rovers that took it too far, and there was one person at Wigan on Saturday night that took it too far. Do you know, just that mad, that frustrated, a combination of everything.
Mad. And I got told to leave her alone. Like, not leave her alone, but my mate said, just leave it. Like, there's no point in getting involved with it. She turned around. No, she was going. We said something earlier on in the game, like she's like, what's that? I was like, oh, it's just a forfeit because you was 2 rows behind. He lost the predictions league. This is his forfeit. Oh. And her husband sat there, not giving a fuck. He didn't care. She's
to give me a little nod.
And then about 10 minutes into the game, we're 18-0 down, and she's like, it's a fucking joke. That. I'm like, whoa. It's just a laugh. I don't find it funny. I was like, you do you, love.
I didn't celebrate. I didn't go at any of the fans. I didn't turn around and be like, yeah, when Wigan scored and all this. And like, there was a couple of guys next to me, and I was getting a couple of funny looks from them. But then when we actually started speaking, it was like, oh, fair play to you. You've got absolute bollocks.
There was some real good people. And I was saying to people, like, you know, look, I'm red and white and stuff like that. And I was having the conversations, and everybody just about was great about it. And there was a bit of back and forth between you two, between Craig and Jimmy. Most of the thing about you felt he'd got off lightly in some ways.
He did.
Now, I've done some reflection on this.
I love a reflection.
And I actually agree that you got off a bit lighter than Jimmy got off. And I think this will turn the old fans back onto hating me more than some of them hated you on Saturday night. But it was all down to the fact of what had happened 2 days previous with us winning the World Club Challenge, a combination of all the success we've had over the past 12 months, and then the performance the performance they didn't give on Saturday night. And all of a sudden, the Hull fans collectively almost just sort of went, we are mad at you, and we do want to give you a bit of shit. But the reality is, we haven't really got a leg to stand on because, all right, you've lost the bet, you've turned up, we're going to sing at you, we're going to chant at you, we're going to give you a bit of rubbish. But the reality is, we just want to go away and lick our wounds a bit. And it was like that, particularly on the bus on the way back. It was just, and especially because our bus got really full up because, we took some more people onto it, so it wasn't as spacious.
One of the coaches broke down.
And there was room on ours. And all of a sudden, it was the case of everyone was just sat there like, it's late, it's hammering it down, I'm stuck in Wigan, I'm not going to get home till 1 a.m. I know there's a Rovers fan there. His club holds all 4 trophies, and our club didn't turn up today to play rugby league. So let's just ignore him. Whereas when you was in the East Stand, I will say, not only did we win, not only were Rovers on a bit of an upturn as well, and we had real high expectations, you got a lot of chance and a lot of abuse, and it didn't really stop. So I do think, in
I
conclusion...
had to walk to and from Craven Park with my shirt out, to and from the car, wherever you parked it, whatever place you left it. Like, he got on the bus with his jacket on, walked to the bus with his jacket on, walked from the bus to the stadium with his jacket on.
I took it off in the pub.
What would have been good, and we should have laid down some firm rules, and we didn't. It's our fault.
Hindsight, innit?
Yeah, we'll make
I did it off and found a loophole.
A proper red and white top, having to walk through the South Stand car park when there's all 16, however many coaches with people stood outside. Yeah,
We'll do better next year.
We ain't going on fucking coach again.
Oh, no, sod that. That was the first...
I enjoyed it, to be honest.
To be fair, there were fun parts.
Yeah.
But overall...
80 minutes spoiled a good day out. I say that about Rovers all the time.
No, like, just like the coach in general, like, overall, the coach in general. I'm just not a fan of going on.
My actual favourite bit before you get onto the game, but my favourite bit of the coach travel, was one of your mates who, when we arrived so early, which unexpectedly, straight through traffic, no dramas, it's 6 o'clock, got 2 hours till kick off, we'll go for a pan. Where are we going to go? So me and him are like, well, we'll go to the Robin pub. And he just, no, it's not called the Robin. No, it is the pub outside that's near Wigan's ground, near the brick. It's called the Robin pub.
The Red Robin.
Red Robin, yeah.
And he just wouldn't have it. He's like, no, you're winding me up. You're taking that shirt. No, I'm not having it. And I was like, no, the pub's called the Red Robin. It always has been. It just is. No, we'll go somewhere else. No, there is nowhere else to go. Red Robin. When you get there,
I did hear this conversation.
That is what
it was Lance, I think.
Yeah, it was Lance.
Yeah, he just won't have it. He's like, well, I won't have a beer then. I'm like, no, you will have a beer.
He's not one to turn down a beer.
Yeah,
right.
The whole estate's called Robin Park, innit? So
yeah, of course it is. Yeah, we do have to talk about the game.
Boo.
All right, but punishment's over now.
It was a disappointment for us anyway. It was a disappointing evening. It was. Don't want to. Don't press no panic buttons. It's round 2. It was. We didn't turn up. Wigan turned up. It was painful to watch, but like I'm trying to look at the bigger picture and not try and get sucked in to be too disappointed.
I'd rather be putting that type of performance out in round 2 than round 22.
And you've got to think, there's many teams that are going to go to Wigan this year, like they do every year. They're going to lose by 30, 40 points, not score a try or score 1 or 2 tries. What was the most disappointing for me was the manner of our performance. Wigan, for as good as it was, didn't really need to get out of 2nd or 3rd gear. And that's down to us. I don't think we'd have gone to Wigan and won. I didn't expect us to go to Wigan and win, but I was expecting us to put up a performance because every time last year when we come up against a big team, we always turned in a performance. Whether we got beat by Wigan by 40 points at home or Leeds turned us over at home by 30 points or whatever it was last year, or against you guys, we always put in a type of performance where we could walk away and go, you're proud of that.
Especially away from home.
Yeah, especially away from home. The only times last season where we didn't do it would be Cass at home, Huddersfield twice, home and at Magic.
It was the poor teams last year you wasn't getting for.
But that was the most disappointing thing for me was we didn't turn up and put in a performance which we can come away and go, yeah, we're proud of the boys. Yeah, we fell short, but it was just
everyone just
very disappointing.
Like lethargic, heavy.
Yeah.
You know, like we saw at the pub, we saw Jay Calf getting a bloody carvery, didn't we, at the pub before the game? It looked like all the players had eaten a carvery just before they ran out on the pitch.
That's true, yeah.
I think you said something interesting to me. We had a conversation. I'd said neither team could really take much away from it. And that actually is wrong because they'll always take stuff away from it. And what you'll take away from yours, not to rub salt in the wound, but is, 14 errors, a lot of them, well, some of them are a good chunk.
Very uncharacteristic.
And also not under pressure, unforced errors. 50 missed tackles on the dot, 5-0.
Is that what it was?
Yeah. And then your completion, I've seen it flip-flop between 70 and 78%, I think. So I'm not quite sure that's your figure. But something else I said to you, which I think tells the game a bit, I said to you, how do you pick a man of the match from that, from an FC point of view? And I think it was you, Jimmy, who said, well, give it to Romano, because he did put some effort in and have that. But
I thought he stood out. I thought he was quite clearly the man of the match for us.
And that made me think afterwards, and I think I did say to the coach, after him, if you was giving Man of Steel to 3 FC players, could you name the next 2?
No.
And that tells the story of the game.
Yeah.
It was just so...
It was Romano, the rest of the team.
lacklustre.
Summed it up for me, 2 things. Our back 3, you got Martin, Barron, Price. Yeah, we know Price's performances have been a bit up and down since he come in, whenever he's played. But what you can normally guarantee from our back 2, Martin and Barron, is a not solid 7, 8 out of 10 every week. And they was well below par. Very uncharacteristic errors. Just looked totally lost in the game on Saturday. And when you've got 2 tries where the opposition team are basically crawling over the line to put the ball down, one was disallowed, one was given, you know you're in for a long night. And it was a night to forget, really, on the pitch for us.
So they didn't, from a relatively neutral point of view, there just didn't seem to be much in the old fans as well. Like, it was kind of like, we're here. It felt flat.
When you've got 3 tries going in so early.
No, even before the game, there was a pocket of fans that were singing, but it just felt flat. There just didn't seem to be much behind the fans. I'm not saying that because I'm a Rovers fan, but that's how it came across to me.
Fair enough.
I do agree with your point that I'm not sure on that bit. I didn't pay that much attention to it. I was just more... I said this before, no details on it, but it was just like a Rovers away day in terms of 99% of people are well behaved, the 1% spoils it. And so there was some instances and things like that, which you'll see at everything,
Yeah, so we won't call it.
Not going to split it. So I was just more like, make sure Craig was all right, make sure we was having a good time, and then let's get to the game. I agree with what you just said. Once those early tries went in, understandably in some ways, that was a subdued crowd.
The crowd can be still on side if they're seeing something.
Yeah.
That team give the fans nothing to cheer about on Saturday, not once.
You did match Wigan in one thing, didn't you?
Go on. Yellow cards.
Yellow card apiece.
Okay, fair enough. So we'll get on to that, and both players who've got yellow cards have escaped ban, and both is a surprise to me. I expected both to pick up enough points to cop a ban, but
is this because they got yellow carded?
No, it's because the points don't take them over the threshold for what they got charged.
Right, but Knight got charged twice and got 3 points twice. That takes him to 6, but he's only showing as having 4.5.
Twice in one game?
Yeah. He got 2 charges.
2, 3 points.
They reduce them.
Yeah, but did they get reduced?
They get reduced if you pay the fine. It's not just if you serve your time. That's what I was reading today.
Yeah.
So he pays the fine, and that reduces both of them, so he doesn't have 6 points.
Is it like 75% or something like that? Yeah.
This is what I was saying last week after the Mikey incident against York, that we're going to see the other side this year where we feel like players aren't getting suspended and it's going to feel too lenient compared to last season where it felt like it was too strict.
Well, wait there then. So are you saying he could just not pay the fine and just take the points?
I don't know if that's an option, but that is why he has not took a ban, because the fine reduces.
I thought they went down because he'd got yellow carded and he'd served a ban of sorts. But this is why I hate this bloody thing. Just go back to grade B, 1 game, 0 or 1, grade C, 1 or 2. Just go back to the normal way of doing it.
I think it needs to be. I don't think it needs to be like grade B, 0 or 1. It needs to be grade B, 1.
Yeah, grade C, 2.
It needs to be definitive, because then you've got no grey area.
Yeah.
Because you might see 2 incidents that are classed as a grade B. One of them gets nothing and the other one gets a 1 game ban.
Yeah.
They're exactly.
No, I get it. They need to simplify it because I don't like having to do maths to work out if you get bloody.
9 times out of 10, it comes down to.
I think in this specific example, though, I was shocked that both Kieran and Knight have come away without getting a ban, and I also think that it was interesting for Kieran because I thought his was quite bad. That's 2 weeks on the trot now. Feels like there should be something in there.
Surprised he was eligible to play in that game after that tackle at Castleford the week previous. But he was. What do we know? Price and Batch picked up injuries.
Yeah.
Prices didn't look good.
Prices didn't look good, but then
on the way home, didn't I? It was ACL or MCL, but with the way it was walking, it didn't quite seem like an ACL. We said possibly.
So the way that he instantly put weight on it, and then after the game, the doctors confirmed to Carty that the knee is stable. You kind of start thinking, well, has he just sprained something in there as opposed to snapping something?
Best case scenario.
You know, is it a couple of weeks as opposed to a couple of months? But I suppose we'll find out over the next couple of days. I'd be very surprised to see him this week or next.
My concern,
I think both Cartwright's ruled them both out for this week. I read earlier.
My concern for Price, I took this from a comment I read online, is that you're almost going down a Johnny Lomax style career here, where it's bags of potential, lots of hype, and then limited playing time. And that's not a jab. Like last year, a few people had to go at me saying that I was always bagging on saying, oh, keep picking up injured players or players with injury history. It's a concern. The guy can't stay on the field.
It is. And it was, you could see him getting shot as well from the stand. He stepped inside and he could not know that guy was coming from behind him to absolutely.
I mean, this one's just a bad. This one's just a bad luck kind of thing. I don't think this has got anything to do with him having a injury record or whatever. It's just the way that he got tackled and the player landed on him. It's just real shit luck.
It could happen at any point, that sort of tackle, can't it? And there was somebody near me going, "No, that's an illegal tackle. Look what he's done."
Not even close.
And I turned around and I was like, he's tackled him round his hips and he's going forward. He's not dropped down. His momentum's still taking him forward.
If Sal's being banned, then he should be banned. It's not even the same.
It's just the way that Price had his feet at that time, which has led to that injury, which is very, very unfortunate.
Oh, well. Anything else?
No.
No.
Can we finish?
Yeah, I think we can finish.
Bragging Rights is proudly sponsored by Comscaf. Hull's own Comscaf have been keeping things safe and steady for over 30 years, providing professional scaffolding services nationwide. If you need a team you can trust for your next project, big or small, head to comscaf.co.uk or give them a call on 01482 782 181.
I'm just laughing that off camera, James has just said, I'm not talking about the Welcome Challenge. I'm not talking about
shit.
Yeah, and I'm waiting.
Not paraphrasing.
I'm waiting. I know he's going to jump in.
I'm going to cut this.
No, I'm joking.
I do think, though, on this, before we get into it, is this, quite bizarrely, for the first time ever, all 5 of us was at a game together.
Yeah.
And we did it twice in 1 week.
Yeah.
But we weren't together on Thursday.
No.
Obviously, you was there supporting Rovers, I get that. But on Saturday,
all in the same stadium.
All in the same stadium. I don't think it's happened before.
Apart from derbies.
No, I don't think it's... I think since we've done the podcast, I don't think it's happened. It will have happened at some point in history in our past.
Yeah.
But I think since the podcast has been going... I don't think, because there's always been one person, whether there's a holiday missing or, you know, on a derby day, I missed one last year. Last year there was a Challenge Cup one, which people missed.
Mm-hmm.
I missed the first Hull one. Yeah, so I do think...
Yeah, but we're all going to get season tickets for Goal, aren't we? So we'll make it regular.
Then you'll have a season ticket for FC, Rovers, Goal, City. Sorry, Craig, we can't go on to the game.
He still subscribes to them.
Still pays for the Wolfpack.
It's keeping him afloat. It's all you know.
I'm slowly paying off Sonny Bill's wages.
Still in a 6 foot hole with that one, are they? Where to begin? It's like, Laura keeps saying to me, has it sunk in? Has it sunk in? No. In a short answer, no. And she's like, you going to Vegas? I was like, yeah, no. And then she goes, as world champions, world club champions. And I'm just like, I mean, I've got goosebumps now. Like, it's just surreal. Like, I sent you a voice message, didn't I, Josh, earlier saying, I've tried writing my notes since Friday. Obviously, I went straight out after the game on Thursday. So I tried writing my notes from Friday and I've just had no success. I've literally got 4 bullet points and one of them's how to begin. And that's how I started. But I messaged Josh and I was
At
like,
least you've done one of them.
yeah. I was like, I'm just going to go off emotion and how I'm feeling at the thing because I've just got no words that I can articulate properly of what we've managed to achieve, really. Like, the best bit for me, I don't know if you've got this down, Josh, was Neil Hudgell's interview when he was like, 10 years ago, they couldn't wait to fly a plane over our stadium on about you guys.
Yeah, he got that wrong,
With
though,
the back.
didn't
Was it 11?
he? No, he said, couldn't wait to fly. They flew a plane off our stadium when we got relegated. No, we flew it over when you got beat by Leeds after we'd won the cup.
Yeah.
So he needs to get his facts
I
right.
thought-
Same principle.
Come on, a man of that
I've said
calibre
if we were
should
playing
know.
over, we didn't have an answer. How's that for an answer?
We've waited 10 years.
For an
Maybe
answer,
that's
yeah.
your answer.
I think on that point, you're right. I really enjoyed the Udgell thing. For me, it is hard to put down to paper. You're right. I've always noted you back saying, yeah, I've only got a few points. I said on here last week, if we're going to beat a Brisbane team, and I didn't really put much credit into how Brisbane might not turn up or might be poor. I just expected them to turn up. So
Yeah.
what I said is, I want a Rovers performance like in the grand final, or I think Wigan the year before would have the quality to do it. Well, it was actually different to the grand final because we didn't have a patchy 10 minutes to start. We came out on fire and we executed a game plan that was absolutely fantastic. And the actual story of the game is told in 2 parts. It's told in the first 60 minutes, which for me were dominated by Rovers in big patches, and on a fantastic game plan, which hinged off the back of fantastic attacking kicks, mainly from Mikey Lewis, who was pinning Reece Walsh, putting pressure on him, making him give errors that he didn't normally give away. It was given on fantastic performances from our forwards, who were up there and bashing big players. And then Brisbane didn't really come to the party as well a little bit at first. Not to discredit Rovers in that way, but they also didn't. And then a second sort of period of 20 minutes towards the end, which was incredibly scary, where the Broncos came romping back up and started giving us a bit of a fright and absolutely going for it. But the reality is, they didn't play for the full 80 minutes. They didn't seem to respect us in some ways, and you can't take away from what Rovers did in that. And that's why it's quite hard to kind of, I think, articulate well, because we was like 30 minutes in, and we're all standing looking at each other in the ground and tapping each other and like,
And what is going
how
on?
are we 18-0 up? How are we this dominant? How is this happening? How are we defending this well? How are we stopping chances? And it just didn't feel real at the time, and that's made it hard to feel real now.
What impressed me most, and I mentioned it to you during the game because, like I said, me and James was there as well, and how well you got up the field. I wasn't expecting you to win the field position. I didn't know how you was going to win the game. I backed you to win the game, as I said last week, but I didn't know. I couldn't pinpoint this is how you're going to win it. Probably a good kicking game, looking back on it. I didn't expect you to win field position. You dominated the field position. You got down the pitch. You was making 50, 60, 70 metres every time with ball in hand, a lot of it. And you was preventing them from making 30.
A lot of their kicks was from their own half.
Yeah, a lot of them. And you was able to get on the front foot and make metres downfield that way. But that was what really impressed me was how you was able to, I won't say so easily because it's not easy. How you
made it look
you made it look
simple.
easy, which then give Mikey the platform to put his kicks in to put pressure onto the right winger. I forgot his name.
And Mariner.
And Walsh,
Mariner was his left,
which forced the errors, which your first couple of tries did come from. So that was what impressed me most.
The story of the game, I want to touch on this. I've got some comments online that I read that I've got noted here as well, that the game changed when Morg went off injured. And we wish Morg speedy recovery. It looks like pectoral injury. It looks like maybe 6 weeks. We don't have a full diagnosis yet, or we haven't been told as fans. But it moved Mikey to fullback, which obviously isn't a preferred position for him. And it really changed because defensively, defensively he doesn't position as well as Morg does. He didn't do a bad job, but it also took him out of the line a bit in terms of the way he was kicking and what he was doing. And I read these comments about Mikey's performance, and rightly so in some ways. A lot of the credit at the end of the game has gone on to, Jez Litton, proper put himself in the shot for NRL. Minnie took a real big captain's knock. How good was Amoni on his debut? You're forgetting how good Tyrone May was, defensive as he always is, but his attacking probing kicks were great as well. I started reading these comments that I really got interested in terms of somebody said here, a Rovers fan online, they didn't know what to say afterwards, but they felt as though Mikey wasn't getting enough credit for the kicks at Reece, and then also the way that particularly Budgie and Gilly ran him down and put pressure on the kicks, and said that he moved to fullback and probably took away from his overall performance, but you're forgetting the kick in the 40-20. Someone said, don't understand how people, including Matt Shaw and Megan Wellens on their show, were saying Mikey had a poor game. His kicking game was brilliant and it played a crucial role in the game. And it did. And then someone said, it's a weird one for me. If Harry Smith, Sneed, Connor or Lamb had that performance, they would be talking about how they kicked them to death, managed the game, pinned the Broncos back and had a key 40-20 at a key time. But because it's Mikey, they just expect that he's going to run and dart and score tries. And because he's an attacking, running halfback first, pundits forget that.
Just about to say that.
Yeah,
That's
that
not
was what
every string. He's got more arrows in his quiver.
He's added more arrows to that, and he's because Mikey come through and Mikey was he'd throw dummy best through the line and score tries and here and there. Mikey, that was what Mikey got known for. But now he's added this kicking game and leadership to his game. It's getting overlooked a little bit because people are still expecting him to have that flair performance, breaking through the line, scoring nice tries. That sort of, he's still got that, but it's not as prominent as it used to be. He's got this. He's taken a more leadership role, and I think maybe that started coming to fruition when Abdul left, and he had to take control of the team. Obviously, you'll see more than I do, but just looking from the outside in, that sort of looks like he has.
He's had to step up to the plate because May, he's got a good short kicking game. His long kicking game isn't the best.
He doesn't have the distance, does he?
Yeah, that's what I mean. So Mike has sort of had to step up. He's not had a choice. He's had to do it, and he has done it. And we've spoken about it already. His kicking game was absolutely superb. And there was a couple of lads that stood near me, and we spoke about how we turned them over in their 10, pretty much, or 20, pretty much.
Every kick in the first half.
Every chance we had. And that first started, I noticed, not last season, the season before, we played Wigan at home, or St Helens, and we pinned either Makinson or Miskey. I still, for the life of me, can't remember which one it was, in that 10-by-10 box by the corner flag. And from then, we've just seen it every day, every week from Rovers. So
it's the foundations for Rovers' performance is that go forward and pinning the winger, the fullback, or whoever in their own 10. And then what you see is your defence does like this banana shape, and we picked up on it when Cookie spoke to us before, where you've got Jez shooting out the line. Maybe he's missing a tackle, but he's forcing that player back in where the rest of them.
It's the reason why Rovers have a higher missed tackle count. That's what Cookie got.
But every week, that is what your success is based on.
We're willing to miss one tackle, knowing that 2 and 3 men will make the next one, and sort of like complete like juxtaposition to that of what we're saying. So you've got Jez going really well going forward. May was on fire. Mike, as I've said, probably underrated for me. But you said something, so all them that pinning back, you said about being surprised at how we made so many yards up the field and how we managed to.
You do it every week in Super League. I just wasn't expecting it again.
You look, Brisbane. He has to be called out on this, right? So we talk about Dino, right? You know, we know that Dino, we don't know the full extent as fans of what's going on with his eye, but we do know he's travelled. We've seen pictures today that he has travelled to Las Vegas. You know, and if he's well and fit, we want him to play. But for a guy who doesn't always get the plaudits he deserves, gets a bit of some people last year not thinking he was top level quality for the Super League and didn't see the hard work and that. This guy played for 80 minutes, made 39 tackles, did 18 carries for 180 metres. 180 metres against the Brisbane Broncos, last year's NRL Grand Final winners, and he did it all with one eye. Like,
because it was quite early on, he got the head knock.
You're talking about somebody putting in an effort for the ages, and they're doing it against. We said going into last week, there's no denying it. On paper, it was the 2 best teams in the world. That's how it works. The 2 best teams in the world play the World Cup Challenge. Nuts, absolutely nuts.
Yeah, it was just absolutely phenomenal. And I think what sort of tipped the scales for me a little bit when I saw it back was Jez Litton's interview. Obviously, Dean Hadley got the in-ground man of the match. Jez Litton got the Sky one. And he was there and he went, this should have gone to Dean. That was basically what he turned around and said. And it was like, but for your players, we always made a big deal as amateur players of the Players Player Trophy.
Players player.
It's the one you want.
What your
teammates think of you,
Yeah.
isn't it? So, yeah, it was just wow.
When you used to finish a game and you're going for afterwards, playing amateur, and they'd be like, "Oh, from your team, we've picked number 6." And then, whoever would go up and get it, and you'd always stood there and you'd be like, "Nah, I remember one was in the trenches. My man of the match was so-and-so. He was the one who got behind the sticks and went behind." And it is different. I wanted to give some credit to I thought the MKM was a fantastic stadium to do it in. It did set a record. It did set a club rugby record. So 24,600 fans, which beats the previous record in September 2007 of 23,604, which was actually Rovers beating FC 26-4. That's what it beat. But what I wanted to give credit for was the way it was managed, the way it was set up, the extras like the flags, the atmosphere, the pyro, no pyro, no party. Reverend and the Makers, a band I've actually seen. I've seen them in Spain Pillar before, fantastic. But when I watched it back when I got in, hyped up and couldn't sleep on Thursday night, I immediately went to YouTube to watch like the 10-minute highlights. And the first thing I turned to my wife, I turned to Evie and said was, how good does the MKM look with the top-down view, all the rest of the hull behind it in black, and it was just lit up. It is a proper stadium.
It looks a good stadium.
Compared to how it looks above, obviously I wanted to be at Craven Park, right? We've been into this, we've been in the preview, we know it wasn't there, but it was phenomenal. And I was so pleased at how Rovers were able to cultivate and make an atmosphere there as well. It does help when I would say at least 21,000 people there were Rovers fans, easily. You could see it from the red and white, you could hear it from the noise and what have you. But it was a great occasion, and we managed to do what I didn't think might be possible, which was make that stadium feel like home for us for that game. And I do think that did play an element. It did play an element for me.
I think that what works in your favour, really, is like when we play there, the majority of our fans that want to sing or whatever, they're southeast corner. When City play there, they're all in the north stand. You didn't have the opportunity to sort that. So you had pockets of fans all over the stadium that all wanted to join in. And if it's like surround sound, it's like if someone over there starts and someone over there starts, well, then the fan in the middle is going to start, aren't they?
You could hear it starting, like the north stand, you could hear them starting a song. But then at another point, you could hear the east-south corner starting a song. And then it just come around. And it did sound really good. And what I will give credit for, whoever organised the setup of the stadium and everything that went along with it needs a pat on the back, because I don't know if it was Rovers, the RFL, or together or anything. It was set up really well. It was presented really well. So
it was superb.
The wrong colour, but it was really well.
But it shows it can be done, and you don't need to spend. All right, yes, it was a one-off event, but it shows little things like that it can be done. Little change a rug. We put a rug down on the floor that said "This is Robin's territory" that we have at Craven Park.
Yeah, we've got an LFC badge.
Yeah, I know, but that's what I mean. Just them sort of little changes. Obviously, I think you got your back up a little bit, and the changing rooms were done in red vinyl or red and white vinyl in some places, or maybe just red over the black.
I think you did red over the white stripes.
Is that what it was?
So that it wasn't black and white anymore. It was black, but it had like a red and white bit going through the middle.
Yeah, so it just shows it can be done, and obviously I know it's an ongoing cost for you guys, and you need to sort of find
a one-off event. You're going to throw money at
of course you are, but it just shows that it is possible.
Oh, we know it's possible. We know it's possible. When you've got a big game like that, it's different to just a everyday week game. So.
It's also some of the things that we want to do to the stadium are like permanent changes as well, which have to be negotiated as part of the lease.
Yeah, obviously.
So
yeah, I get that.
All the changes you made were gone by Saturday for the City game.
It's probably gone.
Yeah,
Friday morning.
Well, I got there for the City game on Saturday, and I was like, they changed them badges back quick.
Yeah, I wouldn't like to be the guy on the ladder.
Cherry picker.
That one that has to do with them delegates. Not for me. But I just want to give a shout out to somebody, Charlie Camish, who did the national anthems. I've been friends with Charlie for about 10 years now, and she just absolutely smashed the national anthems. Yeah, she's from Hull.
Oh, fair play.
She did nail it.
Both of them as well. Lass went to Mallet. She's done quite a few bits and bobs.
She's been on
Rovers in the past. She on X-Factor 3 years back, and I think quite a lot of people do know her. I don't know her personally, but I don't know if my wife does.
She goes on the coach at Ravenston. Well, she lives down south now. Obviously, more opportunities and things like that. But yeah, she's initially from Hull and Rovers for Rovers friends. No, Rovers supporter and being on Ravens the bus and things like that. But yeah, she absolutely nailed it. Because it can't be easy singing another country's national anthem that you probably don't know the words to or the tune to when you're.
No, I reckon a couple of weeks ago when she found out, I reckon she started practicing it.
Yeah, that's what. No, but that's what I mean.
Like,
It still must be difficult, and then in front of probably the biggest audience she's ever played in front of, live. Not to mention the live TV cameras and the two sets of players stood behind her.
Yeah,
Nah, I did a cracking job.
She's absolutely nailed it. So I just wanted to give Charlie a massive shout out.
I don't think we need to. I know we'll run out of time shortly. We don't need to have a back and forth about it. But Rovers hold all 4 trophies.
you do.
Technically, that is not the quadruple. So I've seen this going back and forth online all the time because you've not won it in the calendar year. I don't want to have a row about this because I know people see it differently. What I will say is, all it does is go back to prove my point from last week that I want the World Cup Challenge played with the same teams that win at the end of the year. Not because then we could truly say we are the quadruple winners and we hold the quad, but and I know it's hard to manage because you don't know who's going to win the grand finals, and then you only have a few weeks turnaround to try and get fans to Australia at the back end of October, November, or whatever. But it just adds that fuel to that fire.
I do agree. I think the World Club Challenge should be the last contested trophy in a season, not the first
Have
contested
it pinned
trophy.
in the calendar
'Cause
already.
does it get any better for Tom Amone in his debut for Rovers scoring the first try and his first game he's winning the World Cup Challenge?
Yeah.
But he wasn't the player that won any of the trophies last year for us.
No.
He was a whole car player last year,
Yeah, it was.
but he didn't play for us.
It was on loan.
My final thing before you close, Craig, is that I'm so proud of the team and I'm so happy what happened. It still doesn't quite feel real and it's just immense. It was absolutely brilliant and hopefully, this isn't, we're proving now we are a Leicester. We are a flash in the pan. We aren't just doing one trophy or one good season. We're going to keep building and hopefully we continue to do it. But there's so much being made back and forth. There's Bronco fans whining, Reece Walsh is amazing, but you can't do it on a cold, wet night in Hull, can he? And all this stuff. At the end of the day, we won by a battle of attrition through the middle and a clever kicking game against a team that likes to play to the middle and play out wide. And we didn't do it. It wasn't what I think 99.9% of people expected when they tuned in on Thursday night. And that's fine. Rugby League on paper, and what that match on paper said was that Brisbane Broncos are going to win. Rugby League isn't played on paper. It's played on the field and it's played by men that want to put the heart and soul into it. And our team did that. And I think that there's nothing you can say to take away from the fact that for me, the men that went out there, everyone involved, they fully, truly deserved it. And I think Rovers are worthy winners and deserving that World Cup Challenge. And I'm just really proud of them. It was a fantastic occasion. And I tell you what, we never thought we'd get to a grand final. We barely knew we'd win a trophy when we finally got the Challenge Cup last year. But we never, ever dared dream we'd have a chance at a World Cup Challenge. And we've gone and done it. So there's nothing more I can say.
Yeah, I don't really know much more I can say to follow on from that. Pretty much everything covered there. Like, it's just an absolute dream from years ago to where we are now. That's about all I've got. I am really struggling for words.
Just want to finish with, we're in your shed. We're in your shed. I didn't get sang, but how good would that be on the night? He's singing my...
Bit ironic.
Because it's not your shed, I know.
Yeah, no. Hull City shed.
So yeah, that's about wraps us up, I think. And
I will just say, just on that comment that you made about any Brisbane fan complaining about the weather and, you can't do it because, all that bollocks. The weather had nothing to do with the one incident from Reece Walsh that summed up his performance for me. And that was a fantastic, what looked like a world-class break through and then just booted the ball straight into the north stand.
Rocks and diamonds, we say it all the time, don't we?
Yeah, like that had nothing to do with the weather. That was just a complete brain fart that just summed up his night.
A lot was said, obviously, about Brisbane's comeback. And the fact that Rovers nearly lost it, I'll put it in inverted commas. They did it 4 times in the NRL playoffs, including in the grand final.
They've been slated a lot by Aussie fans, obviously non-Brisbane fans that are like, yeah, well, you got lucky, didn't you, last year in the build to the grand final? And, it turns out you can't just, maybe you can play for 20 minutes against us, but you can't do it against an English team. And I'm like, it's done now. The game is done. There's all the caveats don't matter in the world. We won. Smashed it.
That's it.
It turns out, Reece Walsh, the power was in his hair all along.
Yeah. Has he stopped drinking toilet water? I think that might be it.
No, it's just that the toilet water goes a different way up here. So it's affected him. Had him all spun around.
The other way around.
No, we are done.
We're done.
We are done. Apart from... No, I'm just...
I, for whatever reason, I had in my head that he was going to go to an advert then, but he's not yet. Because I'm real well prepared. No, we just want to mention again about travel, obviously our home. Yeah, all the games I believe will be shown on all the Super League games get shown on the big screen, unless there's like a mix. You'll have maybe a game up here and a game down there. So don't forget to come. We mentioned last week we've got a new menu, some really good looking food. I imagine it tastes really great, but no one's put any in front of me yet. So we'll wait for that to happen. What? The Vegas game. Let me get to it. The Vegas game is on. I know it kicks off at midnight, but they are putting it on. I think there's going to be a DJ on till 12, and then the game will kick off at 12. But yeah,
If you're old and miserable like me, coming at 12.
Yeah. But aside from that, they show all the football games. They've got quizzes. They've got DJs, as we just mentioned. And yeah, if you've got a season ticket, bring that in because you'll get 15% off if you've got food and drink on your bill.
I just noticed something about, because we're in travel and it's visible in travel, there's a graphical error which we need to sort.
Which is?
Get your hand in your pocket then.
Oh, you mean
There's money in the kitty, sort of head.
you on about the 3 trophies?
Yeah,
So they're the 3 trophies you won last year.
Should be 4.
They're the 3 trophies you won last year.
Way, don't we?
So why didn't we put the Challenge Cup trophy on as soon as you won it?
Because that
Next-
you'll be in tight.
Next season, you will have the World Club Challenge on because that is this season's trophy.
I thought you
James's
meant
pot.
I thought Rovers couldn't spell territory right again, but I thought, don't worry about it.
Territory.
I didn't even notice that until one of you guys put it in.
No,
my
it
group.
was.
I love the fact that it was because of the split in the advertising audience as well.
It probably goes back to the vibe that your fans brought on Saturday night in terms of there's not a lot you can say when a club's won so much. You can still hate us, you still don't want it. But there was a guy in the toilet trying to sort of understand why Craig was wearing the Rovers top, and he was explaining, and it was just kind of like, yeah, well, you know, this has happened, and Rovers can't spell the word territory, and I'm like, yeah, great. Like, at the end of the day, mate, I've never seen clutching at straws like it because,
Mate, we were 30 odd points down against Wigan, and there were all fans giving him shit because Caesar made touch with his kick. Like that.
Because Mikey didn't, that is
Because
one thing I
Mikey
did.
didn't.
I also think
We've missed that.
The guy who sat in front of us, by the way, when he didn't make touch, I have not seen a lot of like any senses.
At the
God, on Thursday, he's just like steam blowing, head exploding. He was gone. 2 minutes later, he was like, "We're gonna win."
Oh, well. News
From around the
the world.
I deliberately waited there to see someone do a jingle.
Kill me.
Go on, Josh. Tell me about.
Yeah. 3 bits of news, 3 bits only this week. Number 1, good news for the Super League. Super League have set an all-time cumulative attendance record for the opening 2 rounds of a season. That is 164,934 fans have been to one of the 14 matches so far this season. Does include the World Club Challenge. Bit of a caveat, but having said that, it would have done every year anyways unless it was played in Oz. So great news. We talk about the sport. We talk about keeping it good and keeping it growing. We're getting bums on seats, gents. It's good news.
That's the main thing.
Yeah.
It don't matter if you're what people class as glory supporters or they're coming to watch rugby league. That's all that matters. Hopefully they stay for all the game, unlike Craig, but they're coming to the game. That's all that
Can't
matters.
be helped, can it?
Left early on Thursday as well, didn't you?
Yeah.
5 minutes early on Thursday, and then you left early on Saturday. Disgraceful.
We just followed the rest of the FC fans. I just thought it was finishing time.
Like you when you says they'd scored the first game and I'd bolted off the first try and I bolted off the toilet and you was like, "You know, you're leaving now already."
No,
You
you're
think
right.
it's only good for one admission, Dean?
Wigan, I know we're on news, but Wigan scored the first try at 5-6 minutes.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that. Dean went off running down the stairs to the toilet, and I was like, "He's setting a new record. He's not ready." And even a couple of the old boys were chuckling. Carrying on with news, the general manager of the PNG Chiefs has confirmed that he is very interested in Adrian Lamb as their next coach. He said he could be the man, and that he is looking to make an appointment or get one arranged and announced sooner rather than later. Now, Lamb is still employed until the end of the 2027 season, which means could he go early?
Contracts mean nothing nowadays.
They do.
Nowadays, I don't know.
When did PNG start?
the season after.
Right, okay.
So
2028.
I believe so.
'Cause the Perth and next year.
So it could work out perfect. But if they want him in early to be doing any prep, it could be him coming out of contract.
Could you
You'd most
imagine
likely
Derek?
getting him in the year before to do the signings and stuff.
I would think so, but then it would also mean if, and again, this is just hearsay, but I'd said before that I keep hearing that both Lambs are going. That's a big change around for Lee next year if they've got. Or is it a bit easier to lose the coach, but Lachlan Lamb might stay for a year and then join?
Yeah, he doesn't need to go until they actually start playing.
Well, he won't be going anywhere because the team won't be playing. So.
Yeah, exactly. So.
But he has announced, the general manager announced that they want to make an announcement sooner rather than later. So I don't think that means days, but it could be as short as a couple of months. So let's keep our ears open, our eyes peeled.
Yeah.
And then final one, you actually alluded to this earlier.
I love an illusion.
Do you reckon that kid still does a shot every time we say
I hope so, because we'll bring it back. Sounds a bit of fun to the situations, doesn't
just write alluded all over there so that we don't forget.
York have found a loophole to help them down going through the season.
A loophole.
Yeah.
Yeah, you mentioned something about a loophole.
Yeah, so what's happened is...
Josh, that brought it up to me.
Okay.
Yeah.
You are allowed 10 overseas players on your quota throughout the year. However, you're also allowed to send players out on a one-week loan system. And when a player's on loan, they are removed from the count of 10. Therefore, you can send players out on loan and they don't count on the quota system. So really, you can actually have more than 10 players signed to your club as long as they're out on loan. And York have exploited this rule to send players off on loan and then bring other players in that count against the quota space. And now that they've done it, every other club now knows that you can do it. And perfect loophole, you can have as many players as you want that count against the quota as long as you don't have them all at once.
So how many overseas players are going to end up playing in the Championship now then?
So I didn't note any actual names down, but I believe somebody wrote a good comment about York or Cass. It was possibly York because that's who's found the loophole. That they actually have a couple of quota players that are yet to play for the first team. They've had them at the reserves. And so they've actually not hit 10 yet, but they are over. They have 11 or 12 players now. And it's also looking to be a good potential for Castleford with the Blake Taft situation. Even though they do get some dispensation on salary cap because of when he got injured, he still counts as a quota player. But because they'll be able to put him as a reservist now, they'll be able to bring a player in.
They'll do what we did with Sal, they'll just deregister.
Yes. So, nice big loophole. And yeah, so it could be one that Hull could look to exploit, given that you seem to be going through a bit of an injury crisis slightly at the minute.
Same story every year, isn't it?
Well, that's the we got Asiata and Bell above quota players, and neither of them have played yet. Who else is there? That's Cartwright eventually.
Eventually. He got through on Saturday.
I did all right.
Yeah. So, well, talking of that, we may as well, if you finish with the news section, we may as well jump into our preview for the York game on Friday.
Yes, please.
Is it? Yeah, Friday. You two will be in sunnier climates by that point, won't you? Back to basics.
Yeah.
Just get back to basics. Sweep last week under the rug. You've got to a point. It's going to be really interesting how our team's going to set up with obviously the injury news we've had to Price and Baps this week, and where there's still no Arthur, still no Bell. Bell's definitely not, but Asiata is back in full training Tuesday this week. So will they throw him in? I don't know.
It's a big risk, isn't it? I think they've got a real big... York, they beat us, we know that. But I'd said at the time that they threw everything but the kitchen sink at us.
Looking last week, sorry, you treat that as a friendly game. And that was a build-up game. You treat that as a friendly game, not as a Super League game.
Yeah, so I don't want to make it about us.
I don't think you can read too much now into that performance from York.
No.
Because you saw the true York. Well, maybe not the true York, but a more realistic version of York on Friday against Leeds.
That's my point. Not making it about Rovers. You then saw what they did last week. And then a lot of comments online are now talking about, feeling like York are the weakest of the promoted teams, which I think is yet to be seen, just results we've seen. But I've seen a lot saying that. You don't want to take them too lightly.
No. And
get into this sort of battle of attrition and run a close game like you did against Bradford. But at the same time, you don't want to throw players in that maybe aren't quite 100%. And it leaves you on a bit of a seesaw on the edge of what are you going to do. And I think your team selection this week is a really interesting one.
I really think so. I know. So Zach should be back. But with Price out, does that mean
I'd put Zach as a straight swap in at fullback.
I'd go Litton?
I won't. The reason I would go Hardacre at fullback is maturity in terms of like leadership, direction, all that. I think Zach, if you put him in a position where he can have more influence, like fullback, I think he will have a much bigger impact on the overall team at 1 than he would at 3 or 4.
I get that, and to a point, I agree. But if we haven't got Asiata and we're sticking with Cust and Caesar in the half, Litton's got more in his armour, attacking-wise, to offer.
I think we need to focus on defending before we start thinking about attacking, to be fair.
That's, I think, honestly, yeah, I'll touch wood here. I think that's going to be a given this week after the performance from last week. We've always had a reaction. Always, under Cartwright, had a reaction. I'm not saying we've gone on and won, but we've always had a positive reaction, and I think that's a given this week. Yep, you can noose me next week and say you was wrong, but I do think that's a given.
Maybe.
No, we'll get onto that. But yeah, attacking wise, I'd opt personally for Litton, but I wouldn't be surprised if he went for Zach because he's used Zach there numerous times last year. So
yeah, it is what it is. We'll see what happens on Friday at 6:30 when the teams get announced. And like you said, I think the main thing is I don't think it really matters where everyone plays. I think the main thing is that change of approach, that change of attitude. Mainly, I know Cartwright said that the players still went out and stuck it to him. It was quite difficult to see from the stands. I'm not saying that we're anywhere near what we were 2 years ago in terms of attitude and culture or anything like that. I just think we had a really bad day. But the main thing that I want to see, regardless of who plays in what position, is that change of focus.
Yeah. I'd like to see it. I know you just said about positional then, something which I picked up on. I think I mentioned it to you. Cartwright at left second row on Saturday. A position I don't think we've seen him at. And I might be wrong, but I've always seen him at right second row, or I've always thought he's. And he
did point out it is in his name.
Yeah, you did.
I did enjoy that.
Yeah, on the bus on the way home, the amount of times you said, well, he's called Cartwright. Like, why is he playing on the left?
To be fair, I'd had me Milky Wow when I was full of sugar, wasn't I? So.
I was munching on prongles as well.
Yeah, well, a couple of prongles.
Well, between me and Jimmy, I think we polished a full one off.
Other fake confectionery is available.
Jimmy had 3.
One thing that is no Arthur again. Now, we was told this was a 1 to 2 week injury. If he misses this week, it's been a month.
So we didn't mention this, and I didn't bring it up. I think I might have said it off the pod. About 3-4 weeks ago, just as this season was coming in, there was a bit of a rumour mill going around about FC, saying that the way that these multiple injuries are being managed, the full story is not being told. And it pointed to, and some of these are starting to become true, which is you're not going to have so-and-so back for round 1. Jake Arthur is not coming back in the first couple of rounds. You know, it's not a 1 to 2 week injury. And all that we sort of ignored them and said there's a lot of hearsay. You get a lot, especially in Hull. You get so much of the rumours around the rugby mill flying around. But some of these are now starting to come into fruition.
This isn't just this month, last month. This has been a thing for quite a while with our club. Like, oh, he'll be only out for a few weeks. He'll be only out for a month. 2 months later, they're still not back. Like, just give us a worst case scenario and stop leading us down the ladder.
Back in 2 weeks.
Shut up. But just give us a worst case scenario. Like, don't say 1 or 2 weeks. Just say it could be a month. It's easy to accept, and then we aren't getting on our eye horse saying, "Well, you only said 1 or 2 weeks."
Yeah.
We can sort of accept it, but they're starting to mount up already. And I says we are in a better position. 2 weeks ago, I said we're in a better position this season with a stronger 21, 24, 21, 22, 23 players to deal with that. We have to start proving it now. Not start proving it, but we have to prove it. Because we're getting to that position now.
Yeah.
But I still think we'll have enough on Friday.
Should do.
I should like to think so.
Keyword.
Should. Yeah.
Should. Yeah. Oh, well. Anyway, just to mention again, for those watching on YouTube, you'll see it at the bottom of the screen. Mighton Warriors under-9s are our cause of the month. So we've donated 50 quid to that. If you scan the QR code, you'll be able to get taken straight to their fundraising page and put some money in towards their under-9s going to the Rhinos Challenge in Butlins. We are still looking for a cause for next month. So if you have a cause of any sort of fundraising that you're doing at the minute and you want us to put 50 quid in, please send it in via a DM on Instagram or Facebook or just a message on YouTube. We will reach out back to you and we'll put 50 quid into whatever cause you send across, whatever fundraising you're doing, and we'll promote that fundraising for March as well. So please send those in. Oz, we've not had it yet.
And we've got less than a week left till the end
we've
of
got
February.
we've got 50 quid sat burning and all in the bank, and no one's asked for it. So
can we spend it on getting that updated?
No,
I'm joking.
Anyway, apparently you've got some weird game going on in the Orange Man's
Sunnier Climes.
Yeah.
Orange Man's backyard. Isn't that Canada?
No. Jesus Christ.
Oh no, that's his playground, isn't it?
He's not allowed in Canada anymore, I don't think.
Oh, what's Trudeau done? Getting politics now.
Trudeau's not even the Prime Minister. Yeah. Move on.
No, I don't.
Come on. Rovers versus Leeds in Vegas. Yeah, he is.
so random. Okay. Anyways, Vegas. I'll leave tomorrow. Guess how many things I've got in my suitcase?
Go on. None.
Yeah.
Proper man.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the way to do it.
What about you, Josh? Packed and ready to go?
Yeah, leave Wednesday. I think I'm about 75% packed. I'm very organised.
When did you start packing?
About a week ago.
Yeah.
By job and by nature, I am like a project manager at the heart. I am always on top of it and pre-planning and doing it. Yeah.
I'm like, in my core, I'm like Craig. If I'm going on holiday tomorrow, I'd start packing tonight kind of thing. But because I'm with Rachel and she will just pester until I start putting stuff in the suitcase, I've started packing for our holiday in 2 weeks.
Yeah, Laura's at work now and she's like, oh, you started packing your suitcase? We're going to text her back. No.
I wouldn't be surprised if you just took a carrier bag.
To be fair, it was tempting. But the luggage came in. So might as well use it. So, but yeah, onto the game. Obviously, it's going to be very, very different from last Thursday in terms of the weather and everything. I imagine the build-up will be relatively similar because you're still playing sort of around with the NRL. You're sort of flirting with the NRL. Like, obviously, it was Brisbane last week. Yes, it's Leeds this week, but it's a massive NRL stamp.
Well, they put on a show as well, don't they?
Yeah. So it's like, I don't think last week will do us any discredit in that service. Where I think it will do us a disservice is on the pitch. I am genuinely worried. This isn't me just being a pessimist. I am genuinely worried for Saturday.
I am, don't get me wrong, but I'm quite surprised at how sort of numb to it I am. We spoke at the start of the season that we'd said a few times around, doesn't matter if we have a crap season this season. Like it does, of course it does. We want to build long-term success, but we won the treble, so it don't matter. And then we sort of said, well, this season's going to be really tough to start. We've got to do the World Cup Challenge. We've got to travel to America. We've got to travel back. Like, we might see ourselves, like, fatigued and tired. And obviously, we've had injuries. You know, we know that Morg won't be travelling and won't be able to play. And I understand that I think Murphy got injured for the reserves this weekend. I ain't confirmed that. So, not that he would step in at full-back, I wouldn't have thought. I think it will be Broadbent. Yeah. But, you know, these things happening. And yet, at the same time, it is sort of coming to fruition where I am sort of comfortably laughing about it. The York defeat is completely gone. It doesn't really matter to me. I've got no animosity about it. And also, I've just got this feeling that I'm going to be in Las Vegas. I'm going to be in the sun. I'm going to see some great rugby from the NRL teams as well as hopefully us. And there's a good chance we'll get beat by Leeds. And it won't be a wasted holiday or a wasted trip. It'll just be, who cares? We hold all 4 trophies. We've been to Vegas to see our team. And we spoke, and this is not to throw shade on you guys, but we spoke about Vegas about a year ago, saying that we don't know if these will ever be chances again. Yeah. And I'd said that I'd love it to be a derby, because imagine winning a derby out there. When are you going to get a chance to beat us in America if we beat you out there? And now all rumours that are flying around that FC might not be going next year. right?
Big
Which we
rumours
don't know
now.
yet. Big rumours though. That,
Has it got stronger?
yeah, they're getting quite like. So all of a sudden, if you don't ever go, not that it matters, but between the two clubs, we're getting the experience and the opportunity to go somewhere that you're not going to get to do as well.
Like when I went to Australia.
That's all. I was
Yeah.
going to say that's all we need to do, and then.
But you look back at them, the folk that went to that, they don't remember the result.
No.
We got beat by Wigan. But no one really remembers the result. Everyone who went on that trip is talking about the experience of the trip. And if you might get beat by Leeds next week, but in next year, 2 year, 3 year, 4 year, all you'll be talking about is that trip to Vegas.
When you guys went down under all them years ago, I was jealous because our club wasn't in a position to do it.
Yeah, massively, yeah.
I knew people that were going and I wanted to go. And I wanted to make a thing of it and have a 3-week holiday and go to loads of games and go and experience it. And it just wasn't like viable for us, you know. And now we're doing this, and I do think my mindset will shift. And I don't know how the season's going to go. I think by round 18, 20, I'm going to be sat there, not ruining past results, but I expect us to be in the top 6 and going, come on, let's have a chance, let's have a dig and let's try and make it. But right now, everything that's going on, it sounds stupid to say, but the results are kind of irrelevant in these games.
Just enjoy.
Just going to have an amazing time in Vegas. I want to go, I want to enjoy it, I want to see everything, I want to have some good beers with my old man and to see people, to spend a lot of time with friends and people I know are out there, and then just come away and go, yeah, that was a game against Leeds in Las Vegas. I want everyone to be safe. I want everyone to enjoy it and have fun. I want everyone to get home safe. I want it to be no drama, no trouble, no rubbish. And then maybe I'll focus on the league and the Challenge Cup in a couple of weeks. But yeah, let's just go and enjoy being in America and being in Vegas.
I was just going to say, like, my lad was like, last week, on Thursday after the game, he was like, I don't even care if we lose in Vegas now. Like, and he's 12, and so he doesn't understand the wider scheme of things. Dean, just have a quick read of that before I show you.
I've just
I've
been sent the same thing.
But yeah, like even he was like, I don't really care if we lose. And then I put it on X.
Shit.
And is it Dougie Stand, who was a Wigan fan? It says like commentary account. And he said, nor should you care. Like, and that's from a Wigan fan.
We could be bottom of the league,
Yeah.
right, but holding all 4 trophies, and it wouldn't matter because it will still only be for us 2 games into the season. And so, look, I feel like some breaking news is not coming. I've not read it, so I want to be told it thingy. But from our point of view, I've said all I need to say on Vegas. And I'll just repeat myself. If you go in and we see you, people that see us from the pod, people that know us, come say hello, let's have a beer, let's have a chat. I just want everyone to have an amazing time. Let's enjoy it. And by all accounts, the weather just keeps getting better and better.
For you, I don't like the heat.
No, all my time was just burned. So
Anything in
coming up
double
anyway.
figures.
Oh, it's horrible, isn't it?
Man, a real black and all. I've got my bloody leg done as well.
Anything in double figures, and I'm a puddle.
We'll.
I'm gonna die.
Sometimes you turn me into
I know it's really close to. I know it's Monday night now. I'm going to try and get this podcast out tonight. So I'm going to put the links on again for the Vegas YouTube channels that we use. Something to watch in the airport, on the way there, on the flight, if you can save and download if you're a YouTube premium member and stuff like that. It'd just be really good for your experience if you've still... Because I know sometimes when I go on holiday, I just kind of go and I'm just like, what do I do?
Yeah.
Like, so...
I've got an itinerary.
100%. Vegas is one of them places where you have to spend time looking into what you're going to do. Even if it's just you want some fun little speakeasies to find, like there's a bar in the Cosmo that's hidden in a barber's in the janitor's closet.
Get in.
Shit, you know, if you go to the Cosmo, this is why I love these quirky little things about Vegas. Go to the Cosmo Hotel, go into the barber's, ignore everyone, walk to the back, walk into the janitor's closet, open the door, push the wall will open, and there is a bar behind the wall.
Different level of
Well,
Like,
so I've just
shit like that all over the place.
I just
love
come
that
back
sort of
from New York tonight at Christmas time, and I went to a speakeasy where you went through a phone box, and then you went down some stairs, and then you went into a booth with loads of VHS tapes, loads of porno ones,
It's like Harry Potter.
and then you pressed one of the door open.
Yeah.
And they do have these places, and yeah, look, let's all have a great time, make the most of it, everyone. Everyone that's already there, I hope you're enjoying it. I can't wait to get there now.
I can't wait to get out there now.
I am jealous of you going to Vegas. Like, I love Vegas.
There's a bit of advice for you, because you will go to Fremont Street, because that's where they do, like, they've got like
all the fan stuff.
Yeah, fan
a lot
stuff,
of the fan
right?
stuff. A lot of it's at Resort World as well.
Yeah, but there's a fan thing at Fremont Street. There's a pizza shop just opposite the entrance to Fremont Street near the Heart Attack Cafe called Evil Pie, all like based on like Evil Knievel. Just go in, just try one. I think it's like $5 a slice or something, and you get a pint of
Blood.
PBR, pint of PBR with
Panic
it.
Gaviscon to have you shut down.
It's still outside.
Or do you stick a
I'm
bragging
sure
right sticker?
Stuck a sticker outside. it,
I'm going to
just
take some
outside,
stickers and stick them
uh,
around
Fremont
anyway.
Street.
Yeah, it's just great. Just honestly, just have fun.
Right, and just we've touched on Vegas now, so do you want me to do
Just
this?
well,
it better coming from an old fan. innit?
Just before it's Craig's
your
time to shout,
reaction.
and by the time this goes out, everyone will know. But All FC can provide an injury update on Will Price. Price left the field of play on during round 2 against Wigan. Following scans today, the club confirmed that Price has suffered a ruptured ACL. The fullback is expected to be sidelined for the remainder of the 2026 season.
Shows what we know.
He'll undergo surgery in the coming weeks.
So that
It's
Price,
horrific. That could be a career
done.
ender at his age. At
Yeah.
23, I think he is.
That's shit. And
That could be a career ender.
Yeah, we've spoke about his injuries and things like that in the past, but we just wish him the best with his
Absolutely.
recovery, because
Even
it's going to
from
be a long, hard
Rovers
slog
side,
for
but-
him. It's shit. It is just shit. So yeah, we
We just wish him all the best. Hope he gets well.
yeah. I mean, it's
Absolutely.
the thing is as well. It's shit for all fans listening to that and hearing that or reading that. Think how bad it must be for him.
He's a young kid.
Pre-season he's had. If anyone watched any of the pre-season videos, like the way that he was lifting
He was on
everybody,
cloud nine,
he was on cloud nine.
He was
coming in
literally bouncing.
full
around that training ground.
pre-season, having a great time, looking forward to what was, going to hopefully be a bit of a breakthrough season for him where he could get consistent rugby, and to have that happen in round 2 at his age as well, that's just absolutely devastating.
Just awful, isn't it?
So,
Awful. Truly awful.
I expect, though, the club will do what every other club would sensibly do. I expect us to be bringing someone in within the next couple of weeks. You've got to do it.
There's long. We're at
but-
cap. Let's not
but I think-
speculate. We don't.
Are you able
No,
to?
we're not a cap. He'll come straight off the cap.
Are you able to? Because he's played
No, if you're out within the first 3 rounds,
3 rounds.
you're off
yeah.
cap.
Yeah,
With
fair enough.
Sal got injured in round 3, I think.
Did he?
And the other big thing as well is for not just for Hull fans, but for rugby league fans, that ACL can be a very, very major injury, and it can affect you going forward for a long time. First-hand experience. But for a professional sportsman as well like that, he will get all the best care and treatment. But we was looking at someone that was showing flashes of potential, that people were talking about seeing in an England jersey and being a superstar of the future, and it can be that bad that you don't really recover. Now, modern technology and medicine is better, and I do trust. I'm not always confident in the strength and conditioning guys at FC, but they do still have the right people in place from a professional point of view, and we just hope that he can come back and play rugby again first, and then find his form again. But this is a long recovery, and we won't see him this year, and hopefully we will see him in the short to mid-term future.
Yeah.
Wish him all the best.
Yeah,
Speedy
definitely.
recovery, will yeah.
Moving on, Craig's time to shine to wrap up this
it's
week.
not.
No.
Now it's Craig time to shine.
No, we're good to go.
We do adverts now.
I know. Posh, aren't we?
Also, if you want an advert, reach out. We can do it for any company. Just if you want to put an advert on the podcast, either just on the bar at the bottom or one of them little short 10-second clips that we can put on.
We could even get the guy to do it in his sexy voice.
No, we can't.
Oh.
That costs lots. It's ridiculous the amount of money it costs to get someone to just talk for 20 seconds. But
Fair enough.
Yeah, we
I
do
t-
it
I
for
take
free for an hour and a half.
Yeah, and you pay me quite a bit to do it.
Are you going for free? Come on then, let's get this done.
Right, then on to predictions. So, a couple of quick shout outs for this week before I give you a rundown on how we are all doing. Yellow cap this week goes to, not you.
No, I was doing that before you mentioned Yellow Cat.
Right.
Just on about how wear.
Goes to one of 2, which I think is the second week in a row it's gone to. A member called Since 2025. There are 2 different people in the group called that, but this one is James Oswald. So massive well done, and massive shout out to you for winning the yellow cap this week. And wooden spoon this week. There is a little caveat to it, as Josh likes to say. You was waiting for that one, yeah. Is he in Perth? Izzy Hogarth or Hogarth. I'm not quite sure on the pronunciation, but she did only do 3 games this week. I think she was a late joiner, Josh said. So, but because there are some scores on there, unfortunately, she has got the wooden spoon. And then moving on to us 5 then. I'm skipping him anyway, it's annoying me.
Yeah.
Susan's in second place with 9.25. Jimmy's top on 14, by the way.
I'm third overall out of all Hull
third
FC
overall.
fans.
I was getting to that.
No, out of all Hull FC fans, I'm third overall.
And as they say, the league is won in the second week of the year.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a sprint, not a marathon, isn't that?
Like, I've only just looked.
Dean at one point.
I'm not on
Bear
about
that in
our
mind.
league. I'm not on about our league.
Let him
The
go.
whole thing.
Go on.
So yeah, Jimmy's top on 14. Susan then follows on 9.25. Myself on 9. Josh on 8, and then Dean bringing up the rear on 7.5.
Dean doing what?
I didn't say take it. I said bringing up.
It's just that bus journey, mate. Sam Errington's different.
You need to get a look.
I was bobbing off on the way on that.
I know, 'cause that comes in. I was
Oh yeah, no, you didn't. No, I was there. Like I could just feel myself going, Dean, you fucking. And then all I
like, it
did
was a
was
few
like
sherbets deep, to be fair.
certain things said
Still
that
are.
I thought, did I actually hear that right? And then laughs.
Lo and
Would you
behold,
say you was bobbing?
I was definitely there.
So yeah, on to this week then. First game, Thursday night, I believe, is Wigan versus Lee at the DW Brick Community Stadium, as it's now called. I need to get DW. They need to set them seats out, because I'm sure it still says DW inside. They need to take them out, because it's confusing me. I will tap my pen on my section if I want. Anyways, Wigan
Amount of
versus...
shit I get for wearing a ring and tapping it, and then you just bang, bang, bang.
No, I need it, actually. I need to write down. I've got Wigan by 16.
Wigan by 8.
Wigan 6.
Wigan 10.
And Susan has Wigan 7. Moving on over to, come on, Jimmy, Castleford.
The Wombar Stadium.
Weldon Road. Castleford versus Huddersfield.
Jungle.
The jungle, yeah. Castleford versus Huddersfield. I really struggled with this one, but I've gone for the lesser of 2 evils here, I think. I've gone for Huddersfield by 10.
Huddersfield by 6.
Huddersfield by 8.
Castleford by 8.
Ooh. And Susan's gone for Castleford by 6. Over to the circle for Hull FC versus York. I've gone for Hull by 22 because it should be comfortable.
Wow.
I've gone for Hull by 14.
Hull by 14.
I've gone Hull by 7.
And Susan's also gone for Hull by 14. So a few there across the board with the 14s. Over to Halliwell Jones. Warrington versus Wakefield. I've gone for Warrington by 14.
I've got Warrington by 8.
Warrington by 10.
Warrington by 14.
14, and Susan's got Warrington by 10. So Warrington across the board there. Over to the Stade Gilbert Brutus in the south of France. Catalans versus St Helens. I've gone for St Helens by 10.
I've gone for St Helens by 3.
Oh.
Saints by 16.
Oh.
Saints by 13.
13. And Susan's gone for St Helens by 4. So unanimous for Saints across the board there, even though they are massively struggling at the moment with injuries. But
Still think they'll have enough.
I think that says more about Catalan than it does about St Helens. But anyways. And then I've got the Vegas game, Rovers versus Leeds at Legion. I've got Leeds by 14.
Rovers by 10.
Leeds by 4.
Leeds by 10.
Leeds by 10. And Susan has Rovers by 8.
Do you know the game's not actually in Vegas?
Yeah.
Stadium's not even in...
Is it not?
No, it's in Paradise.
The Strip's not in Vegas.
Is it not?
No,
Oh, it's a real weird city.
Yeah, it's a bit, isn't it?
Go, get
Final-
shit-faced.
Finally, Odsal, Bartercard Stadium, whatever you're calling it these days. Bradford versus Toulouse. First battle, I believe, of two of the 3 promoted clubs.
Yeah.
I've got Bradford by 10.
I've got Bradford by 10.
I've got Bradford by 8.
I've got Bradford by 8.
Okay.
And Susan's got Bradford by 5.
Across the board with that one as well.
Yeah, that one. There's only the Cass game. that there's any and the
Yeah.
Rovers game.
Yeah, Josh got Rovers on it.
This is in. So yeah, that rounds up predictions for this week.
Just before Josh closes, we are planning an episode next week. It's going to be later on in the week because of travel arrangements for these guys getting back. We're hoping to record on Wednesday. James is hoping to get it out on Thursday. Hull play on Thursday night, so we're hoping to get it out before the Hull game. If it doesn't happen, we apologise, but we are hoping to get it out. If all the travel,
We'll do what we can.
Yeah, we'll do what we can. If everything goes right with the travel with these guys, we'll get one out. But if you don't hear from us from 2 weeks, you know why.
Yeah, unfortunately, Mr. and Mr. International, aren't we?
That's it now, yeah.
Well, let's wrap up then, gentlemen. So before we say goodbye, let's just say, as always, thank you very much to our main sponsor, Comscaff, and a big thank you to the home of the pod, Tribal. Please make sure that if you do enjoy listening or watching, that you do give us a like, you give us a share, you give us a subscribe. If you're on YouTube, give us a hi. Please remember to keep leaving comments, messaging us. We are going to be making a bit more of a concerted effort to reply back to you, like some of the comments, and talk about one here as well. We didn't have a listeners' lounge this week, but going
There was
forward,
some good comments last week, weren't they?
we want to incorporate them comments as well. We are ignoring you, even if we don't talk about it on the podcast. We do talk between us sometimes on the comments that we see, and we use them to build forward as well. And we do appreciate everybody that gets involved. And look, we want to keep growing as much as we can, and we can't do that without you guys just listening, liking, and helping us along. So please do that.
All we'll say is that any derogatory comments or anything like that will not be discussed, will they? We've discussed it between us.
I was going to say more than welcome.
Right, okay, yeah. Well, considering who you would give your kids to, Jimmy, but we'll leave that there for another night.
I ain't got kids for good.
So yeah, thank you to Comscaff, thank you to Tribal, and thank you to you guys for listening. From me then, it's see you bye.
See you, bye.
See you, bye.
See you, bye.